Hourly is you just choosing a rate and you book a certain amount of hours and you charge for those hours, okay? So remember, if you charge $50 an hour and you do 10 hours worth of work, you made $500, okay? And what's cool about hourly is you split it up however you want, and you have to give expectations to the clients on how that works. Do you work on weekends? Do you work on Saturdays and Sundays? Do you work all 10 hours in one day? Or are you saying, hey, I'm gonna bill you for 10 hours spread over these next 3 days? You get to kind of manage that time how you want, but still bill for the time, okay? So here's some key tips to charging hourly, okay? You need to set a fair rate. It allows you to juggle multiple clients, which is really, really nice. Here's the pro of billing hourly. You get to make as much as you want because you make as much as you're willing to work. Here's the con of that. You have a cap because you can only do so much. You only have so many hours in the day, week, month, and year, right? So it caps at a certain time. So here's a little bit of advice about charging hourly. Be really upfront with your client, and you have to understand whatever you bid hourly, that's what you're on. So if you say, I think I can do this in 5 hours of work and it actually takes you 10, you're not allowed to come back and say, hey, it took me double, pay me double. They're going, no, that's the bid you gave me, right? So hourly, I like to book hourly in a bracket of time. Hey, I'd like to book 10 hours, knowing in my head it'll probably take me 5 to do it, but I leave myself some buffer for iterations and emails. I leave some buffer for maybe it took me a little bit longer and I had a challenge to overcome during the project. All of those things I take into account. So whatever you think it's going to take you to do, be realistic and communicate those realistic expectations of time. So if you assume it's going to take 10 hours, I'd say bill for 20. I'd say bid 20 hours of work. Another thing about using time as the way that you bill clients is you need to track your time religiously. Here's why. If you spend some time tracking your time, you'll know how much time it takes you to do a certain project. So if somebody says, hey, I need a landing page, how much time does that take you? How do you know unless you've done it before and tracked your time? And you go, this usually takes me somewhere between 20 and 25 hours. So I'm going to bid 25 to 30 hours just to be safe, okay? So track your time religiously. Use a time tracking app or something like that. That's important. Also, last thing I'll say about hourly, bill for everything. A phone call from the client, a surprise Zoom meeting that you had to have with them, emails back and forth, questions on Slack. All of those things are you working for them. Those are billable hours. A lot of times as creatives, we get it in our mind. I only bill when I'm moving pixels around on the screen or I'm actually coding some code. Nope, that's not true. You get paid for everything you do because as a freelancer, remember, you do all of it. You do everything. So bill for everything. That's not an evil, wicked, bad thing you're doing. It's fair to you as a business. And unless you do it, you're going to go out of business, Holmes. So you need to bill for everything. Okay. We had a question in the